I am going 6-0 in the division because the rest of the division sucks.
This is the best division in football, Tori.
Take that step back. We are seeing the true quarterback that he really is, which he is not a very good quarterback.
Welcome to the Man Now, where we taking over. It's time to give you them facts. Won't miss a game or two, cause we here for you and we reporting all of them stats. We coming to you live to keep you updated. Broadcast across the country, we the fan favorites. Break the volume to the max and don't nobody touch it. We crossing topics off the list, addressing every subject. So if you ain't got a clue, then you can tune in and give it 24 hours and we back again. Breaking news, new scoops, we the top dogs. From the fields to the courts, we report it all. Buzzer beaters through your speakers, we the ones to call. Trust us for the news if it's got a ball. Giving you the top stories cause we love the turf. Tell a friend to tune in and where you heard it first. Yeah, you're listening to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them stats. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them facts. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them facts. Turn the speakers up a little loud. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them stats. Cause you listen to the Man Hour.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckosher here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com and check out the merchandise page, and of course, check out the blog section as well. We are now officiated with Belly Up Sports. You can check us out on Belly Up Sports every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. East Coast time right there on their Facebook page. But as always, you can join us here live, raw and uncut every Sunday through Thursday at youtube.com/Man Hour. So Belly Up Sports is where you can find us Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. East Coast time. We also giving away a trip to Vegas. All you got to do is simply click on the join button here on the YouTube button, become a $5.99 member or more, and you get free entry into the Vegas trip. But before we get too carried away, we got to welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Brandon B.C. Combs to the show. Combs, what's going on, buddy?
What is going on, Buck? What's going on, Man Hour Nation? What's going on, Belly Up Sports, man?
Big shout out to those guys.
Absolutely, it's gonna be a wild ride. Can't wait to get some of those guys on our show, get on some of their shows, get some people up on Big X Sports Radio. We're on 313 Radio. Like, we got some big things happening, man.
Yeah, definitely big things happening. Speaking of big things happening, we do have Mr. Tori Anderson join us tonight as well, as he'll be on Luke G's show tomorrow. So, Tori, you better be representing Man Hour well over there on Detroit Lions Radio.
Please refer to me by my correct name, the True King of the North.
The True King of the North. All right, Mr. King of the North.
When you say big things happening, are you referring to his nightlife?
No, because we know exactly he does not have big things happening on his nightlife at all.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Just wondering.
But yeah,
Just
so
I spend every night here when I can.
yeah.
So yes, I do have big things going on.
So here you go. I love it when they call me Big Papa. So, Tori, this shirt is for you.
Oh, while you show off your shirt, let me show off mine.
Yeah, show it off. There you go,
know.
boys. There we go. All right, so guys, we do have an
That's a
action-packed
light
show,
foot, though.
and as Tori does the Superman logo there, that's a great segue into what we are going to talk about here, opening the show off here. So, guys, Mac Jones and Cam Newton are in a very highly anticipated quarterback battle right now, and Bill Belichick has yet to name a starter. Cam Newton did start the final preseason game despite Mac Jones taking snaps with the first string while Cam Newton was on COVID protocol, obviously. But Mr. Brandon B.C. Combs, who is the week 1 starter for the New England Patriots? Is it Cam Newton or Mac Jones?
I mean, if they want to win, it's going to be Mac Jones. Because, look, Mac Jones absolutely took the starting position away from Cam Newton in the preseason. You look at their PFF grade, Mac Jones is a 93.2, Cam Newton's an 83.5 this preseason. Average depth of target for Mac Jones is 8.9 yards. For Cam Newton, it's 6.5. The adjusted completion percentage itself is really what got me and what is eye-popping to me. Cam Newton is a 70% adjusted completion percentage, and Mac Jones is at 81.6. That, like, there is no doubt in my mind that Mac Jones is the better option for the New England Patriots. If they want to have any sort of shot at a wild card, because look, they're still not good enough to beat the Buffalo. They're still not the Buffalo Bills. But if they want a chance at the playoffs, it's got to be with Mac Jones starting week 1, because you can't waste any games in the NFL wasting them on a guy who you know isn't as good as the guy sitting behind him.
So you are saying that if they were to start Cam Newton week 1, they're wasting games?
It would be a big mistake. It would be a big mistake. And you would be looking at a Cam Newton, and then after week 1, if they lose week 1, I mean, that would be it for him. So why even waste it? Why even waste it? You're gonna have a short leash on the guy anyway.
All righty, Mr. Torrey Anderson. What about you? Who is going to be starter week number 1?
Just because I spent the better part of the last 6 months saying Mac Jones is trash. I literally have.
Boy, were you wrong.
I will never admit that I was wrong. Never.
Typical
However,
man.
Facts.
Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. It's got to be Mac Jones. The kid has outplayed Cam Newton at every turn in this preseason, and this is a team that can contend and be a playoff team. Unlike a certain team from a windy city in Chicago with Ditka versus the Volcano, who wins? Ditka. That is not a playoff team, no matter who's at the helm this year. I think they let Andy Dalton, let the Red Rocket take over that 1 year. But the Patriots are in a completely different situation. They have a team that can be returned to the playoffs. I don't think they can contend for the AFC East. This is the Bills' division to lose. So I think they can be a good wild card team with Mac Jones at the helm. I don't think they are. They are probably a 5 or 6 win team with Cam Newton at the helm this year.
So
Don't you ever imitate the super fans like that ever again. You freaking Wisconsinite, cheesehead wearing son of a gun. Don't ever, and you didn't even pick a good one. You didn't even pick a good one.
it was the only one that matters.
My word.
But let's go ahead and digress here. But so you guys are putting Mac Jones on this pedestal when he was playing against second and third string guys. Most of them are probably not even on NFL rosters right now. So Torrey, I got to ask you this question: what if Mac Jones sucks week 1, week 2, week 3? Do you pull the plug and put Cam Newton back in?
And this is why I say you should start Cam Newton on the other side of it. And then see, because now I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't, because I called him trash and now I say he should be starting.
Yeah. So you're in a lose-lose situation.
Just call me Wyatt, baby.
I was just gonna say, you've been hanging out with Wyatt backstage.
Way too much.
So I don't think they do pull him at that point, because in Belichick, I'm going to steal Wayne G's line and every Patriots fan line. In Belichick, we trust. Like there's a plan in place all the time for it. If anything, the one thing that Belichick won't be afraid to do is scale back the offense to fit around Mac Jones as he gets more comfortable with it.
Right.
They will scale it back.
So
it's not going to be full bore.
So, Combs, let me ask you this question. You say Mac Jones is going to start, and Torrey just said that if he were to start Mac Jones, he'll start all 17 games this season. If Cam Newton starts week 1, does he start all 17 games?
If Cam Newton starts week 1, no. I think if Cam Newton starts week 1, he is probably pulled, if not by halftime against Miami, he's pulled after week 1. Look, Cam Newton is just not the same Cam Newton of old. He's not the MVP Cam Newton. He is just he's just not the same. And he's shown it all of last season. He's shown it throughout this preseason. He's just not that guy anymore. And if some other team wants to take a flyer on him, they want to trade for him, prior to the season starting, the Patriots said hop right on board with that. Give the ball to Mac Jones and don't look back.
So you guys are both saying Mac Jones all 17 games this season, correct?
100%.
Alrighty. So we do have a comment popping in here. Clayton says, I say start Cam because you always have that option to go back to Mac, but who do you think is better QB fit? Is it Mac Jones? So he's saying that Mac Jones is a better QB fit in New England. Do you guys agree with that?
That Mac Jones is a better fit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
I mean,
or
look,
Tom
Mac
Brady
Jones-
as that guy.
100%.
I said that before when we talked about it. This offense, the Bill Belichick offense, what the Patriots have done over the last, 20 plus years of their dominance is based on a pocket quarterback who doesn't run very well. That's Mac Jones, a very good pocket quarterback who doesn't run very well. They're not designed to do what Cam Newton's trying to do. That's not what this offense is. So you go with what works. You go with what fits your offense better. And to me, that's Mac Jones 100%.
All right, so Tori Anderson, let me kick it to you here on this next question. How far do you think the New England Patriots go with Mac Jones as a starter all 17 games?
I think they could be a wild card team. They could slide in there, maybe a 10-7, maybe 11-6. They could slide in as a wild card and second place team. The great unknown there is how the Miami Dolphins progress with Tua.
All right.
Like if they
go ahead. I'm sorry.
If they continue to develop behind Tua like they were last year with a dual quarterback system with him and Fitzpatrick, that's the great unknown. However, I think it's a battle for second place between the Patriots and the Dolphins, both of whom are capable of winning anywhere from 10 games up to potentially 12 games.
So you have the Patriots going 10-7 with Mac Jones at the quarterback helm, right?
Yes.
Brandon Combs, you shaking your head in disagreement.
Yeah,
Where do you have them at?
I had them at 6-10 with Cam Newton. I would only have them at 8-9 with Mac Jones. Look, Mac Jones is their starter. Mac Jones is the guy who needs to lead this offense. This schedule that they have, I mean, it's not an easy schedule. It's really not. They're out of division games are the Saints, the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, the Chargers, the Browns, and the Colts.
All sound like losses to me.
Yeah, I don't see a spot where they can get to, a 10-7 or 11. I just don't see it happening at all.
Alrighty, guys. So the next question that I have on the flip side of that, let's say Cam Newton does start week 1. How short of leash does he have? I mean, Combs, you kind of already alluded to it, like a tad bit there, like a half a game. So Tori, I'm going to kick it to you first here. How long does Cam Newton start if he starts week 1?
Probably as long as his shoulder holds up, which should be about the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Like I literally, like it's sad to say, all Cam Newton is a 10-year younger version of me in better shape.
So should the Patriots use Cam Newton as like trade bait, kind of just like
Who's going to take him?
Who would take him? The Chicago Bears would, in a heartbeat.
Who? Take who?
Cam Newton.
Sit down.
Come on.
Sit down.
You know damn
the Bears
well
are not taking Cam Newton.
They would trade for Justin Fields straight up.
I'm sure the New York Jets would take him.
Yeah, like
Zach
there's
Wilson's
probably
trash.
teams out there that would take him, I think.
Who though?
There's a couple teams that would take-
legit. Who?
You know
There
who
is
could
no
take-
team out there.
You know who could take a flyer on him would be Miami to back up Tua. And if something happens with Tua, Tua goes down and gets hurt. You could bring
have
in
Jacoby,
Cam Newton,
though.
You could run the same style up. Yep, come on. You want Cam Newton or Jacoby Brissett?
Jacoby Brissett because
Really?
Jacoby can throw it. Jacoby can throw it down the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cam's shoulders are shot. Like I said, he throws it about 5 to 10 yards now, and that's it. He can't push it down the field anymore.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I'm a Cam Newton guy. I love the guy, but it's like I said,
really like Cam Newton.
his body is shot.
Yeah.
The guy is
Maybe-
taking a pounding.
Maybe he'll go to Jacksonville and be a tight end. Where's Joey?
No,
at?
because you need your shoulders, and he can't get his arms up. Like that's about as high as I get my arms. That's about how high Cam can get his.
All right, guys, we are up against the first break here tonight on the Man Hour. Coming up on the Man Hour, we're going to talk some Jimmy G and Trey Lance, some Baker Mayfield, and Zach is Trash Wilson, all coming up here on the Man Hour, guys. But if you guys haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share us with a couple friends because you would get entered into a chance to win to the Vegas trip. So, guys, just sit back, relax. We'll be right back after this short little break. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckcast along with Brandon BC Combs and Tori Anderson. You can find us all on Twitter at manhour_Buck, manhour_Combs, and of course, manhour_Tori. Before we get too carried away into the main part of the show, Tori, tell a little bit of people about your fantasy segment coming up on Wednesday.
I am the smartest fantasy football player alive. Oh wait, you want more than that?
Yeah, more than that. Just the
I
lead.
can't wait to beat you this season.
I mean, everybody's got to have dreams. Everybody's gotta have a goal in life. So if you're a $2.99 or more member, you get fantasy advice from myself and Wyatt. Sometimes it might be me. Sometimes it might be Wyatt. Sometimes it'll be both of us. So when you want to finish in second place, you listen to Wyatt. When you want to win your league, listen to me. We will go through and break it down every single week about who you should be starting, who you should be benching, who you should be cutting, who you should be picking up. So right now, do you want a little free fantasy advice? Too bad. Subscribe for $2.99.
There you go. Great segue, Mr. Tori Anderson there. But guys, we are getting into the meat and bones of the show here, and it is time to talk some San Francisco 49ers. During week 3 of the preseason here, guys, we saw a little 2-quarterback system that the 49ers were testing out between Jimmy G and Trey Lance. And let's just be honest, they are in a huge quarterback battle right now. So, Mr. Brandon BC Combs, who should the San Francisco 49ers start week 1, Trey Lance or Jimmy G?
Jimmy G. Jimmy G is a quarterback who 2 years ago led these guys to the Super Bowl. Minus all the injuries that they had last year, who knows what they could have done last year. They're back, they're healthy. You give the ball to Jimmy G. If for whatever reason he's not the guy, if for whatever reason he's faltering, then you go ahead and you bring in Trey Lance. But I mean, Jimmy G's the guy. He hasn't done anything to lose that position other than get hurt. And I just think that if you want a chance at being a real contender, which I believe the San Francisco 49ers have a shot at being a real contender this season.
Yeah.
They need Jimmy G with his experience to lead them there. It's not going to be could they do it with Trey Lance? I'm not saying Trey Lance isn't capable, because I think Trey Lance is going to be a very good quarterback in this league. I just think he's still very raw. And when you have a rookie quarterback starting, and again, this isn't the Bears, because I've got a very different take on the Bears and Justin Fields starting. The 49ers have a chance at going somewhere, and you don't want those rookie mistakes to cost you games. And that's what could possibly happen. And if you do that, then what you're telling yourself is, hey, we're going to see what we have with this kid. We've got a really good team, but we're okay with if he costs us a game or two with some rookie mistakes. And that's not going to fly with some of these players that are out there ready to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, the San Francisco 49ers are right there poised to win the Super Bowl, and I've been on the record saying that if they would have beat the Kansas City Chiefs, I think we would have been talking to San Francisco's in a totally different light and a dynasty light type of per se here. So, Mr. Tori Anderson, who is going to start week 1 for the San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy G or Trey Lance?
It's going to be Jimmy G. It's got to be Jimmy G all day long, all year long. It's going to be Jimmy G. Jimmy G is not a bad quarterback. Jimmy G has a problem staying healthy. Jimmy G is a good quarterback when he is in there. The thing is this is going to be Trey Lance's team, much like the situation in Chicago. They're going to sit their young quarterback. They are going to let him ride. Now, the thing is, the difference there, though, is Jimmy G is going to be showcased so they can trade him after the season, where Andy Dalton's just going to get cut. So it's more of we're going to show you what Jimmy G can do all year, because this is going to be Trey's team and Trey's future. So why not let him play it out? Jimmy G will probably have a pretty good year. They have a good team again, and barring, them not having like 9 of 11 starters on their defense injured, they're going to be a pretty dang good team. And it's going to be one that's not going to get talked about because of the division they play in. They're stuck behind Seattle. They're stuck behind Arizona, and you got the Rams. So if you look at it, they're going to be talked about as the 4th best team still in that division. And I think they have a chance to be like 9-8 because that division is going to be so tough to play in that That is probably the
They have a
best
chance
division
to be
top,
good.
though.
I think they can be 9-8. He says in the same
the-
breath.
But because of that division, though, it's a lot
But
of it's
that
because
division,
of that
I think that
division.
division is going to
That
have
division's a murderer's
three teams
row.
with 10 winners, 10 game winners.
I do have them with 3 10-win teams in there.
You just
I
don't
have-
have the Niners as one of them.
No, but I have the Niners at 9-8, so I have them just outside.
I think people are sleeping on the Niners because of how poorly they played last year, but they forget, they don't put any stock into the fact that 90% of their team was on IR. So that team is going to be better than what they were. That team was, what was their record 2 years ago? What were they, 14-3 or something like that? Or they were somewhere around that number.
They were 13-3 the same year. The year they went to the Super Bowl.
They went to the Super Bowl.
Them and the Pack. Well,
So-
they were 13-3, and the Packers were 12-4.
They were
Or
13-3
13-3, excuse
in
me.
that division. The Rams were still good that year. The Rams were pretty damn good that year. The I don't understand. The Seahawks were good that year. So it's not like they were playing in a weak division when they went 13-3, and they went to the Super Bowl. Then they all got hurt last year. And Buck, you said that if they beat Kansas City, we're talking about them being a dynasty. I don't think we are. I think we're talking about, can they get back to where they were before they all got hurt? Because even though they would have beat the Kansas City Chiefs, they still would have got hurt last year and still would have been just as bad as they were. This team played very injured last year, and they are going to be better than a lot of people give them credit for. I would not be surprised to see this team up there as a 1 or a 2 seed in the NFC.
No, so Combs, let me ask you this question, because Tori said that basically Jimmy G is going to be on showcase this year to be traded. But what we don't, one of the biggest things that I did not understand that San Francisco 49ers did this year was they signed Jimmy G to a 2-year contract with a no trade clause involved. Do you think they try to trade Jimmy G, but he says no to kind of just stick it to the ownership? Like, well, you know what? You didn't have faith in me, so screw you guys. I'm not going to get traded anywhere.
No, I think that if they get to the point where Jimmy G isn't playing and they give it to Trey Lance and they're trying to trade Jimmy G, I think Jimmy G will go. I think he wants to have his choice on where he goes. Before I saw Mac Jones this preseason, I would have bet everything I had that he would have ended up back in New England. But there's no need for him in New England now. A couple places I could see him going. One would be if Matt Ryan is not living up to par. I could absolutely see the Atlanta Falcons making a move early in the season and trying to go get a guy like Jimmy G. I could see God, I'm trying to think of a couple teams that might need a veteran guy like that. Man, it's tough. It's tough right now with quarterbacks because there's just so many good rookies coming up that it's so tough to find a spot where a veteran with a good veteran could land. What? How about Tampa Bay?
True.
How about Tampa Bay sit behind Tom Brady for a year and then go play again? You know what I mean?
Wouldn't that be the ultimate story there, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'd be a great story. I mean, we would love it. We'd get to talk all sorts of things about it. But I think that there's a lot of places that could. How about Indy? Indy's another one.
Yeah.
What if Carson Wentz gets hurt? Are you really going to put your season, which I think you could have, you could be another team that's vying for a top 2 spot in the conference. Would you put your laurels on Jacob Eason or what's the other guy's name?
Sam Ellinger.
Sam Ellinger.
Sam Ellinger? No, I mean, I'd go get a Jimmy G. Why not?
Right. So Mr. Tori Anderson, Mr. Soup Boss comes in the chat here, and he says, Jimmy G to the New Orleans Saints. How does that sound? Like, how does that roll off the tongue?
He's just trying to ruffle feathers. I see what you're doing, Soup Boss. I see what you're doing. And I don't like it.
Much like the Atlanta Falcons, they wouldn't do it because they can just be terrible this year and go get a quarterback next year. So that's why they're both going to start 2 of the worst quarterbacks in the league, who were one, Matt Ryan at least was good for a little while.
Lose this bet.
So, but the thing is they're gonna play it out. They're gonna wait for next year, take a quarterback with a higher pick, and reboot. That's what they're going to have to do. That's why you put Jameis Winston as your starter if you're trying to lose games. You're going for draft position.
Yeah, for sure.
So Combs,
I want you to say that same line. So when you're doing that last dab challenge, I want you to try to say that same line as that hot sauce is hitting your tongue.
I can't wait till you're crying that you even have to do it. I'm going to make a side bet that you back out.
Please make that side bet. Make that side bet with me, please. I don't back out of bets.
So Combs, serious question here. Does Jimmy G make sense in New Orleans?
No, because they've got their guy. Look, you guys can talk all you want about Jameis Winston, and I'm going to say the same thing I've been saying. Jameis Winston is a top 10 quarterback in this league. There's no need for them to go spend any type of capital to go get Jimmy G. It's just not necessary for them.
What do you see? I just want to know what you see in Jameis that nobody else sees.
What do you mean? I see past the interceptions. I see a quarterback who is one of only 8 quarterbacks in NFL history to throw for 5,000 yards. I see
Because
a
he's
quarterback
terrible
who, yes, he
and his
threw for
team
30
was down.
Okay, so his team. First of all, he threw more touchdowns in the first half last year than he did in the second half. So that theory about his team's losing, so he's playing up against prevent defenses is false.
Are you talking about last year?
He had better numbers in the
last
first
year.
half. Well, 2 years ago. Sorry, he had better numbers in the first half that year than he did in the second half. So because in the second half he's trying to make things happen. We already talked about this. I already beat you down about this yesterday.
So
You
hang
want me
on,
to beat
hang
you
on,
down
hang
about
on,
it
hang
again?
on, pause.
The only thing you beat down was my meat because there was no beat down there. You made yourself look silly with it.
All right, so
No,
pause.
It's
Combs.
it's like saying Dak. Well, Dak was out for 3 weeks and was leading the league in passing. Yeah, because his team was behind and he had to wing it 50 times a game.
Yeah,
like,
I know because his defense giving up 30 points a game and 40 points a game was definitely his fault too.
It is
Let's
when you
put
throw
it on that. It's the
interceptions.
same thing that Jameis Winston had to go through in Tampa Bay. He's putting up 27, 30, 35, 40 points a game, and they're losing.
Because he threw 3 interceptions in the first half and 2 of them got returned for touchdowns.
Yeah. So before we move on to the next segment here, let me go ahead and bring up a couple comments here. Soup Boss says, just imagine Winston holding a clipboard with the amazing look of intelligence as Jimmy G's and Saints go to the wild card.
That's good.
Just imagine a world where Soup Boss would get out of the comments and actually come on the show.
And then he says, making things happen equals forcing throws for interceptions. So
It's true. You would know that as a Patriots fan. You watched that a lot last year.
And then one more comment here. Clayton says, as a Dallas fan, should I be concerned with Dallas Cowboys going 0-4 in the preseason? We will get to that in Shop Talk coming up here in hour number 2, here in about a half hour here on the Man Hour. But let's go ahead and transition to the next question here. Baker Mayfield made his preseason debut last weekend, and he looked pretty darn good to me. So, Tori, I'm going to kick it to you first. Are the Browns the team to beat in the AFC North right now?
Yeah, because who else is going to challenge them besides Pittsburgh for like the first 3 weeks of the season, maybe? You know, this is the Browns division now. They have one of the most talented rosters in all of football. They have an amazing defense that they added to even more through the draft this year. They had an amazing draft again. So the Browns are definitely the class of the AFC North this year. I can't discount the Steelers because for whatever reason, every time we throw the Steelers, it's like the Patriots all over again. Every time we throw the Steelers on the scrap heap, they come out and they go like, 13-4.
Yeah.
And then losing the first round to the Ravens in the playoffs.
And after they start 12-0.
Right. So it's not going to be anybody else but the Browns that wins that. The Ravens will probably be second. The Steelers could be third, and then you got the Bengals that will obviously be fourth in that division for
it
at least
would not
another
be
year or
surprised me if the Ravens finish last because Lamar Jackson is a very trash quarterback, will lead them to the dumpster. So Combs, are the Browns the team to beat in the AFC North?
Yes, the Browns are the team to beat in the NFC North. They're the best team in the NFC North. They're the most complete team. A huge blow to the Baltimore Ravens with Dobbins going down.
Is it though?
It is. Yeah, it's definitely a big blow for them. I would pick the Browns to win this division. It'll be a close one. But I see the Browns to somewhere at like 12-5 and the Ravens at 11-6.
So you have the Browns winning division with 11 wins, you said?
12
No,
wins.
12.
12 wins. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and address this comment here. Soup Boss says Lamar Jackson is a top 10 running back in the league. What is wrong with you? I agree. He's definitely a top 10 running back in the league. I don't have any question about that whatsoever. So you guys got any concerns about that? Lamar Jackson top 10 running back in the league?
No, I mean, Soup Boss is still just talking on the chat and still refusing to come on here so I could beat him down again. I made him run away last year.
Yeah, he's still running in really good shape actually. So I mean,
yeah, he is, and he's in very good shape. He's in better shape than I am. My shape is round.
Yeah,
and
but
his shape
round
is go to the gym every day. Yeah,
round
but
is the shape.
His round is go to the gym every day. He's definitely more fit than I am. He's got me there.
All right, and so one quarterback that we need to definitely talk about is Mr. Zach Wilson himself, the New York Jets quarterback. He has taken leaps and bounds each week of the preseason. Torrey Anderson, you have said that Zach is trash, he is going to be a bust, and he has just been a horrible human being his whole life. Are you ready to finally change your mind about Mr. Zach Wilson and the New York Jets?
No. Zach Wilson will be out of the league after his 4th year. He won't even get his 5th-year option. He's going to be so bad, he won't even get picked up. He won't even get a second chance. He's going to, I don't know. I was going to say he's going to Johnny Manziel it, but he won't. That's
so bad.
That's a
talk
straight
about
path
being
of
the
destruction.
Best fantasy football player alive when you have such horrible football takes. The man was 15 of 20 for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns. You're like, Zach is trash.
What comparing it to what? Against second and third string?
Oh, here we go again. The man was still 15 for 20 on his complete. Okay, so wait. Back it up. I
mean, I could go 15
so you take no stock.
I could go 15 to 20 against a bunch of 12-year-olds.
You take no stock into the fact that he's doing this in the preseason, but you're cool with the NFL Combine playing in shorts, and you can tell whether or not a guy's good.
No, I don't. I'm not a big fan of the Combine either. I am not.
That's not what you said when I was complaining about the Combine and how stupid it was.
That's because I just like to argue with you because I love you.
God, you're such a woman, Tori. There is no doubt about that. I just love to argue. So, Combs, is Zach Wilson going to be the best quarterback in this year's draft?
Yes, and I said it before the draft. Zach Wilson was the best quarterback in this draft. He's going to have the best career out of any quarterback in this draft, and this includes Justin Fields. Zach Wilson is a very good quarterback. Zach Wilson is going to be the start of what changes the culture with the New York Jets, and that starts. It started with the hire of Robert Saleh. Then it's going to start with the draft of Zach Wilson. And as they get more and more players over there, the Jets are going to become a good team and a good organization again. They're starting to change the culture. Zach Wilson is a very good quarterback. He is the best quarterback to come out of this draft. So I don't understand Torrey over here with the blah blah. Zach is trying. It's just because he wants to keep up with his little thing because he said it, so it's got to be true until I'm proven wrong. Zach Wilson will be going in the Hall of Fame. Torrey will be out there. Zach is trash, and he'll be going.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I am the official king of the Zach Wilson is trash fan club.
Yes. So
I need to start a Facebook group.
So make a burner Twitter account. But White Stephen A. Smith. But Combs, you brought up a couple things here. Is like you said that the New York Jets are going to be bringing players in. Like it is going to be a destination place for these free agents to to like come, or do you think they're going to get players through the draft? So therefore, Zach has to be trash for them to get a good draft pick, right?
Who the hell ever said I
No.
want to go to New Jersey?
Absolutely not. But you know what you could have here is a spot where players who are getting overlooked, players who get cut this preseason, players who are looking to rejuvenate their careers are going to say, why not? Let's go to New York. Let's change the culture here. How about if you've got a guy like the right now the Cleveland Browns are looking to trade OBJ. Why not send OBJ to the Jets? Why wouldn't OBJ want to go to the Jets? And
Who would
have
you
a
get
guy
in
like Zach
return?
Wilson throwing him the ball.
What'd you get in return for OBJ?
You're going to get draft picks. You're not going to get much in return right now for OBJ anyway. You might get a 4th round draft pick.
I was gonna
I
say
don't even know if I give you that.
So, Tori, do you think the Jets are going to build through the draft or build through free agency? Because obviously they're not there right now.
But right now, no, they got to build through the draft first. The only reason anybody wants to go to the Jets right now is if they're chasing big money contract and really don't care, i.e. Le'Veon Bell. You know, there's just if you want to be a winner, you're going to have to build through the draft first before you have changed that culture and people want to go there. I can speak to this as a Packer fan and was around when the Packers were the class clown of the entire NFL. In the 70s and 80s, nobody wanted to play in Green Bay. Green Bay was a joke. Players would write it into their contract
Still
that they
wants to play in Green Bay.
says a team that's at least
Not even their quarterback wants to be there right now. He's
that
just there 'cause
sounds
he's
sounds
stuck.
like a whole lot of jealous of a team that hasn't.
No,
you know,
it sounds like the
can't
truth.
win
We listened to it all off season.
can't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he'd
ever.
rather go host Jeopardy.
That's just it's like I said, just jealousy there.
Yeah.
Because at least my team wins Super
Not at
Bowls.
all. All right, I'd be jealous. I'm gonna get to watch Justin Fields for the next 15 years. Why am I jealous?
You mean for the next
I
5
mean, we're all
years
getting
tops.
good.
So,
No, come on now. Fields is going to be good.
yeah.
I will say Fields is going to be good.
All right, guys, we are up against the next break here. On the other side of the break, we're going to open it up to Shop Talk. So if you guys want to talk about anything in the chat, go ahead and let us know, and we'll be willing to talk about it. Before we head to a break here, let's go ahead and address some of these comments that are rolling in here. Supa said, did you hear that? Combs said that Zach Wilson is going to the Hall of Fame. What a dumbass. Tori, what are your thoughts on that?
I didn't say he was going to the
facts.
Hall of Fame. What an idiot. I
You
said
did.
if he
You
goes
said-
to the Hall of Fame. I said
Tori
if
will
he
be
goes to the
standing
Hall of Fame,
outside.
Tori will be standing there saying Zach is trash. Not that he
I
is
will tell
going
it
the
to
Hall
his
of Fame.
face as he's whipping $100 bills and be like, "Who's trash, bitch?"
And then Soup Boss
guys are
also
catching
said that
$100
Combs maybe run to the Urban Dictionary to figure out how retarded slang is with his half-ass
No.
predictions.
Look, Soup Boss, you keep talking in the comments. I mean, I don't know. Like, do you want the link? I can send you the link.
Yeah, we certainly can. We do have an open segment every Monday and Wednesday at 9:45 East Coast time, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So feel free to jump in.
There we go.
And then he
We
says,
call it
"LOL, Tori is a Packer fans. NFC second round playoff game. There's their Super Bowl."
Get it right. It's the title game that we make it to.
Yeah, it's the NFC title game. It's the annual
Wait.
game played in the NFC, which some team gets to beat the Packers.
The Packers. I still one of the greatest edits ever.
One of the greatest ever. All right, guys. So we are up against a break here. So be sure to check out Belly Up Sports. We'll be live on there every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. on their Facebook page. That's East Coast time. That's Belly Up Sports there on the Facebook page. We'll be right back, guys, after this quick little break. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheischer along with Tori Anderson and Brandon BC Combs. It is time for Shop Talk. We've covered a lot of NFL talk tonight. So if you guys want to talk about anything in the chats, go ahead and let us know. We do have Guess Who coming up, and we are going to talk some Jordan Love and Justin Fields coming up here in about 30 minutes here on the Man Hour. But it is time for the banter Shop Talk session here, and we do have to answer Clayton's question here. So, Tori, I'm going to kick it to you first here. Clayton says, as a Dallas fan, should I be concerned with the Dallas Cowboys going 0-4 during preseason? What are your thoughts on that? Come on, I'm a passive Cowboys fan. Don't be so mean to him.
In Green Bay when he should have been fired beforehand. I don't put too much stock into it. Every team runs a vanilla offense. They're not going to show anything. There's no wrinkles. It's the defense pretty much knows every single play that's coming, and it's just my backups are better than yours. I'm not worried about it at all. I mean, they're still the third best team in the NFC East, so they're not going anywhere anyways.
They are the third best team in the NFC East. I think you misspoke. They're the best team. I mean, I thought I was the only one that had the stutter on the show. Dude, my share's definitely falling apart now. I better.
Did you
like
catch
a
the
lot,
voice again?
No. I felt it and I
it.
picked them up. Sorry. Combs, should Clayton be worried about his Cowboys going 0-4 in the preseason?
No, man. Look, the Dallas Cowboy, it's preseason. You know, we keep talking about all the hype. You know, did this player play well in preseason or this player do? It's still the preseason. It's just like spring training. You want to see your players play well. You want to see them do the things well, and you want them to work on the things that they're not doing so well. So that way, by the time the season starts, you've got all the kinks worked out. Who cares if they're 0-4 in the preseason? Who cares if they're 4-0 in the preseason?
Who cares if Justin Fields goes 15 for 18 in the preseason with 3 touchdowns, right? Because it doesn't matter because it's preseason.
Or Zach Wilson goes 15-20.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because it's preseason because Zach Wilson's trash. Justin Fields is overrated, and the Lions win the NFC North.
Which I'll debate tomorrow.
We shall debate tomorrow. We are going to be breaking down each division, guys, starting next week. So there is a bold statement here in the chat, guys. Combs, this is your boy. You might want to go drug test him right now because he says bold prediction: Texans trade Watson to Miami, Pats trade Cam to Houston, Mac Jones with the Rookie of the Year.
What?
Wow.
That was a lot.
So
to
three-way
follow
trade?
Uh,
Is he talking like that?
That's kind of what it seemed like.
Cam to Houston, and
Watson to Miami.
Watson to Miami. Man, that's a
Houston
good
doesn't
one,
need a
man.
quarterback though. They have Tyrod Taylor. They have Mills.
Oh my God,
Yeah, Davis
Mr.
Mills.
Punctured lung
Yeah.
himself. No, if you look, Cam Newton's an upgrade over either one of those guys.
Well, Tyrod Taylor probably would have done just as well as
No,
Herbert
stop
did at the
it.
Chargers last year.
No, Tyrod Taylor would have been taken out by week 4, and Justin Herbert would have been the starter in Los Angeles. It's Tyrod Taylor. Come on,
because
man.
their plan was to sit him all year
But
last
don't
year.
put
to
him
let
on a
learn.
pedestal. No, yeah, sure, that was their plan. And then all of a sudden, Justin Herbert's uncle punctured his lung and posed as a team doctor. And it's Tyrod Taylor, guys. Come on, man. I mean, look, we can't talk about we know football. Hey, listen to us, listen to our takes, and then say, oh well, they got Tyrod Taylor. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Hang on here. Hang on.
Look at his numbers. Look at Tyrod's numbers in Buffalo on a not very good Buffalo team.
Exactly.
He put up good numbers.
Well, and then let's flash back here about a half hour. Tori, hold up your arms again. Yeah, that's
what size they go.
That's Cam Newton. Tyrod Taylor. Cam Newton. Tori, show us again. Cam Newton. Tyrod Taylor.
Boom, just punctured his lung.
I mean, like at least Tyrod Taylor can throw more than 5 yards downfield, right? to a
Yeah,
pretty good receiver
sure.
core, like you guys said last night.
No.
You guys said
It's
Houston
not-
had a better receiving core than the Eagles.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
Torrey
did.
did.
Yeah, Tory did, not
Because-
me. Don't put his stupid words in my mouth.
Because your stupid
How?
roots are normally wrong.
How?
How do you? The Houston Texans are obliterated. Who do the Houston Texans have on their wide receiving core?
They have that one guy, another guy.
Yeah. See, you can't even
No.
tell me who the hell's on their receiving core, but they're better than the Eagles.
No, they got. God, why is his name slipping my mind right
Come
now?
on, Bugs, spit it out.
All of the receiving core got traded from last year. Like they had Willie Snead.
No.
Yeah.
They
Their
had
whole
Randall Cobb,
receiving
Will
core now.
Fuller.
Will Fuller gone. He's
Yeah,
I
but they
think
got
he's
they got
suspended.
Kiki Coty. They got Brandon. What's the hell's his name?
Cooks.
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 Yeah.
Brandon Cooks. That's what I couldn't think of his name.
The
Kiki
guy who's
Coty.
been washed up for at least the last 3 seasons. He was good for 2 years in New Orleans.
The guy can still run past 95% of the league,
Yeah.
and that's all he is. That's all.
That's great, but who's going to throw it to him?
Hey,
Tyrod Taylor?
Hey, Torrey, pick up your arms again.
Come on.
Tyrod Taylor will be throwing him the ball. Javier says my Miami Dolphins better trade for Deshaun Watson. Give him what they want. He will play again, not this year, but
That would
next
be
year.
a great trade for the Miami Dolphins. It really would. I would trade Tua for Deshaun Watson in half a heartbeat.
Half a heartbeat.
Half a heartbeat.
Yeah, but the thing is they want draft picks for him, and
Okay.
that's if you throw it into it, you're not.
Miami's
getting-
Miami's got the stock to where if they get a quarterback, the loss of the draft picks over the next 2 or 3 years is not really going to set them back far.
But
They
they're
do have
still
a lot of
saying
draft
they want 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks.
So
And
Miami's got
prob-
like 9 of them next year.
I know. However, because I'm not giving up that capital plus my quarterback for just him. I could see if you gave Tua and maybe a first and a second, when gave up those 2 picks for him.
Well,
That I would do, but
how
I'm not
much
giving
is
up
a
any more
playoff
than that.
berth worth? Because you guys said that Deshaun Watson will make your team a playoff
Instantly
team.
does.
They made
It does.
Deshaun Watson and the Miami Dolphins makes them a threat to the Buffalo Bills for the division crown.
Yes.
Does it take it though?
It could.
could.
I mean, it's going to be a really close race. They're 2 really good teams. They're
I
probably
could win the
2
lottery,
best
but I'm
teams in
probably
the
not gonna
AFC
happen.
at that point.
Whoa, hang on. So you're saying Deshaun Watson to the Miami Dolphins makes them one of the best teams in AFC?
Yes, they're at least a top 3 team in the AFC. Deshaun Watson goes to the Miami Dolphins. Easy.
Oh, okay. I mean, we'll just leave it there.
Name
Wait,
me 3 teams that are
time out.
better.
Buck, what's your take on that? Because they are. The Dolphins are a good team the way it is.
The Dolphins are a good team now. They're probably a top 6 team right now in the AFC.
They're a legit playoff team.
No. The
What?
Miami guys, we saw it with Tua.
No, they were a game away from the playoffs last season.
because of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Where is he at now? He is on the 13-4 Washington Wolfpack,
for each
right?
The Washington Wolfpack.
Yeah, or the Red Tails. But guys, we are going to see this year
Redskins.
that like
The
Tua
Redskins.
is not a good quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he is an opposite-handed dude that I
I
hate
haven't seen
seeing.
him not be a good quarterback in the NFL. What are you talking about?
Then
He's a
why
winning
did Ryan
quarterback already.
Fitzpatrick have to come in the fourth quarter and bail his ass out?
They did that like 2 times.
They did like 3 times in a row because he sucks. He's not very good. He is not very good. 3 teams better than the Miami Dolphins with Deshaun Watson. For one, the Kansas City Chiefs. My Kansas City Chiefs, they are the best team in the AFC, hands down. And then we got to give out the
Can't argue there.
Buffalo Bills. I think the
Yeah,
Buffalo
and then you
Bills
go
might be
Miami
better
Dolphins.
than the Chiefs.
All right, so 2. Now name me one more team that in the AFC that's better than the Dolphins if Deshaun Watson's their quarterback.
Chargers.
No way.
Yeah. And then you had the
No.
Browns. I mean, I can keep going if you guys
No.
want me to.
The Browns aren't better than the Dolphins if Deshaun Watson. Is
I
their
would even
quarterback.
put trash Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens
You're
above
out.
them
Stop it.
if they're healthy.
Now you're just saying stuff just to say stuff.
No. I mean, I'm serious. Like, I think the Miami Dolphins are probably the 12th team in the AFC.
We
with
need to do this
Deshaun
thing
Watson.
where on the screen when you sit there and you start talking like this toilet seat pops up in
Yeah.
front of your face.
I could
So
probably do
it
that.
just looks like you're talking all the crap that you really are. Like
I could probably do something like that.
you're
Every time
there's
his
no
mouth
way that you
opens
think
up,
that if
a
Deshaun
poop
Watson is the
emoji comes
Miami
out.
Dolphins quarterback, they're not a top 3 team in the AFC. You really believe that the Chargers are better than the Dolphins with Deshaun Watson?
I think the Chargers are a sleeper Super Bowl team if the playoffs fall right in their favor, meaning like they don't play the Chiefs in the first round.
They're good. Don't get me wrong. Look, I'm a big fan of the Chargers. I like the Chargers a lot. I like what they're doing right there. I love Herbert. I was a big fan of Herbert when he got drafted. I said the big things were going to happen with Herbert when he got drafted.
Yeah. And we're also
they're just not there yet. He's not Deshaun Watson.
right. Well, and we're also overlooking the Colts too. I mean, the Colts are Super Bowl caliber team as well.
I think we overlook the Colts because they're still resting on Carson Wentz, and we all
Right.
know that by week 3 he's going to be done for the next 2 years.
Well, right now he's done for 2 weeks as a whole COVID thing. So I mean, it's just a matter of time, right?
Yeah.
In the
Well, I
words
mean,
of Philip Rivers, "Daggummit, nobody's just talking about us."
And speaking of talking, Soup Boss is still talking here in the chat. He says, "Hey, don't smack talk preseason. Ravens have won 20 straight preseason games. That's an NFL record, greatest stat ever." Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Yeah.
How many times have they won
20
in
straight.
January? Once.
That's like the Lions fans. Like, we went undefeated this preseason. This is our year, and you get 2 wins.
Wasn't 0-16
Yeah.
that year too? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So-
went 4-0 in the preseason and went 0-16 in the regular season.
Soup Boss says Houston has a better receiving core than Boise State. Nope, that's a fucking lie too.
Hey,
So.
Buck, you're. I just realized something.
Yeah.
You love the Lions. You keep saying the Lions are going to win the NFC North. Your takes are about as empty as their trophy case.
Doo-doo. That was a dad joke right there.
Okay. Soup Boss says that Miami has ton of draft picks, which they're actually right. I think they have like 20 draft picks or something over the next 3 years or something ridiculous. So they do have a lot of draft capital to bring Watson if they want to bring him in. So
They do. They've got
All thanks to Tunsil.
Why wouldn't you, if you're the Indianapolis Colts, though, go and get Deshaun Watson? I still don't.
I don't think they have the draft picks.
They should have. They should have just went and got him before they went and got Carson Wentz.
What'd they give up for Carson Wentz? Like a 3rd round pick or something?
Wasn't he a free agent?
No, it was a second. They gave up a 2nd round pick that has the potential to be a 1st round pick if he plays. I don't know if it's X amount of games or hits X amount of milestones.
If they wanted
whatever.
Deshaun Watson, they would have found a way to make it work.
Yeah,
Right.
but I don't know. I feel like Deshaun Watson is kind of like Teddy Bridgewater. There's some underlining red
Did you
flags. No, I meant like not like talent wise, but I'm talking about underlining red flags. Yeah,
Injury wise,
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
He's not really injured that often, is he?
No,
no, but
I'm
he
not.
almost lost
I'm
his-
not.
Bridgewater,
like that.
Bridgewater almost lost his leg.
I'm not
yeah.
saying injury prone. I'm saying like maybe a cancer in the locker room type thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
We did talk. Yeah, we talked about that with Bridgewater. There's a reason why none of these teams seem to want to keep him.
right. So like that's kind of like me trying to read between the lines and kind of make something out of nothing, kind of.
Yeah, but
I feel like there's
Houston's doing
something.
everything they can, including finding girls to throw accusations out there to keep Deshaun Watson in Texas.
Yeah.
That's a difference.
And then Soup Boss also says if Tyrod Taylor went to Miami, they're a Super Bowl bound team. That's pretty accurate. And he says Chargers drug screen this man. And then Javier says Buck, we have a great coaching staff as in Miami. I do like their head coach. What's his name?
Brian
again?
Flores.
Yeah, he's from the Patriots tree, and he is not trying to incorporate the Patriot way. He's trying to incorporate that player coach way, and it's definitely working.
Yeah, I like Robert Flores a lot. I like what he's doing in Miami. I didn't really agree with the way he handled the quarterback situation last year, but I do like what Robert Flores is doing down there.
And a couple more things before I head to our next break here. Soup Boss also says Gardner Minshew wins the sexiest man in the NFL again. Sheesh.
He loves himself some Gardner Minshew.
He
that's
is
for
the
sure.
most piece of crap human being I've ever seen.
If you walk into Soup Boss's bedroom, there's definitely a life-size poster of a shirtless Gardner Minshew on the ceiling.
Got the fat head on there.
on the ceiling.
And one more comment before we head to our next break here. Javier says that Javi Baez is my hero, and I'm going to buy his jersey, and I'm a Marlins fan. LOL, LOL.
Yeah, have you guys seen what happened there with Javier Baez?
I saw his interview when the fans were like yelling at him and heckling him and stuff because he struck
him
out.
and the team, they started doing a thing where he hit a home run. Francisco Lindor hit a double and another guy got a hit or something, and after every hit they were throwing thumbs down. They asked Baez about it afterwards, and Baez says he's like, they're gonna boo us when we're doing bad, so we're gonna boo them when we do good. So basically every time they gave a thumbs down, it was towards the fans.
Wow.
And people are in an uproar about it. The Mets owner came out and said, oh, we're not going to accept anything that's going towards negative towards our fans. Well, then maybe you should put a better product on the field.
Do you think Javi Baez stays in New York?
Maybe you should go from first place to 6.5 games out.
Yeah. I mean, look, they're booing Javi Baez. And look, I love Javi Baez. I really do. Like, I would love watching the kid play baseball. But since he's been a Met, he's struck out 30% of his plate appearances.
I think he's doing it on purpose.
That's insane.
No, because he's in a contract year. Absolutely not.
I saw a pitch come from a Giants pitcher that landed about 35 feet in front of the plate, and Javier Baez missed it by, like, he was swinging ahead of the pitch by at least 10 seconds. Like, it was absolutely horrendous.
Jeez.
It's just he gets in those funks, man. He's a free swinger. He's just one of those guys. Remember Alfonso Soriano? That's what Javier Baez is. He's a guy who's going to swing and miss a lot, but he's going to, when he connects, he connects.
Except with a prettier swing than Soriano's was.
And he's amazing defensively. Absolutely phenomenal to watch.
Very, very true. All right, guys. Combs, any comments like over there on your side of things?
Yeah, so Drew's over here on the behind the scenes show, and he says, let's see here, Tua was coming off injury and he was still very raw, and Drew says no, that seat pinches his nads every time. LOL.
Yeah, I'm going to go get my desk chair tomorrow, 100% sure. But guys, we are up against break number 3 tonight. On the other side of the break, we got the infamous game of Guess Who, which is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. You can download the Thrive Fantasy app by going to thrivefantasy.com or downloading it on iOS or Android devices. Use promo code MANHOUR. They'll instantly match up to $50 on your first deposit. Also, when you use promo code MANHOUR, you get free entry into the $100,000 giveaway for the week number 1 NFL Pick'em. So that's thrivefantasy.com, promo code MANHOUR. Guys, we'll be right back here after this short little break. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Tori Anderson tonight. If you guys would like to become a member and check out some back office stuff here, you can head over to youtube.com/Man Hour, hit the join button, and for the $9.99 a month, you get all access to the behind the scenes footage. If you are a member tonight, we are giving you free access to that, or not free access, but we're giving you access to the behind the scenes footage, and we got a couple people back there tonight, so a big shout out to Soup Boss and Drew for joining us behind the scenes footage, and of course everybody else that is listening
to Vegas
here on Big X Sports Radio, and of course Belly Up Sports and 313 The Flash. So guys, big shout out to all of our sponsors and whatnot. But guess who is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy? You guys can head over to thrivefantasy.com and use promo code MANHOUR. They'll match up to $50 on your first deposit instantly. And when you use promo code MANHOUR and you haven't signed up already, you get free entry into the $100,000 giveaway Thrive Fantasy is giving away week 1. Thrive Fantasy is a simple over-under picks there, and you just simply pick, hey, Patrick Mahomes is going to throw over 4 touchdowns, and you pick over. And then bada bing, bada boom, you know, you get 10 out of 10. Then, right, you get a chance to win $100,000. Combs, I won about $1,000 last year off of
I have to create a
Thrive.
fake profile now because I only get free entry if I'm a new member.
Hey, there you go. We still get a kickback even though you make a counter profile. So hey, guys, for every time you sign up for Thrive Fantasy and make a deposit, we get a kickback from that. So guys, definitely go over to thrivefantasy.com and check it out on iOS and Android devices. Of course, promo code MANHOUR. So guys, it is that special time of night where we play the infamous game of Guess Who. Let's flash back into 5th grade here when you play that little game and you try to guess who I was thinking of. So basically,
I'm still undefeated.
You ask yes or no questions, and Tori Anderson is pretty good at this game as well. Let me fix the chair because I feel like something.
I was going to
is
say, I thought you were playing a sound, but that was your chair, I think, splitting apart.
Oh, yeah.
All I heard was, whoop.
It is definitely. It's definitely done. I got to spread my legs and like hold it together, so like I feel like I'm doing Kegels, which is
Soup
pretty.
Boss just said Combs just admitted to cheating while gambling. Way to go, Pete Rose.
Yeah. Hey, it is only cheating if you get caught. Correct. So guys, this is season number 2 of Guess Who. You know, a brand new month here, new show, and Combs and Tori. Have you guys ever played head to head on Guess Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he beat me the first time, and the second time I beat him, and then he was like, "No, we need to go more. We need to go more," because he had lost.
That is not true.
It is 100% true. Check the tape.
So this is the best 2 out of 3 here. So we do have 3 people. We will go through all 3 here, but it is the best 2 out of 3. So Combs, since you are the middle child here, because I'm younger than you are, Tori's older than like you are, so you're the middle child. Do you want to go first or second tonight?
Oh, we'll let Tori go first. I always let the ladies go first.
All right, Mr. Tori Anderson, yes or no question, please.
Combs is my bitch.
Yes.
It's not a real question.
But it was my
looks
question.
Gay in that hat.
All right, Tori, yes or no question?
Do they play in the NBA?
No.
Are they a football player?
Yes.
Do they play in the NFC East?
No.
Oh, shocker.
Do they play in the NFC North?
No.
Do they play in the NFC South?
Yes.
Is it Jameis Winston?
It is not.
Damn it.
Do they play for the Panthers?
No.
Is it Taysom Hill?
It is not.
Is it Sean Payton?
No.
Is it Matt Ryan?
No.
Do they play for the Falcons?
No.
Is it Tom Brady?
It is Mr. Tom Brady, Mr. Brandon B.C. Combs. And the reason why I bring up Tom Brady tonight is because ESPN released some rankings of players that are going to have successful seasons in 2021. Basically, they said who is going to have the best season out of like all the players, and they ranked Dak Prescott ahead of Tom Brady to have a better season in 2021. So, Mr. Brandon BC Combs, do you think Dak Prescott is going to have a better season than Tom Brady in 2021?
Man, that is a loaded question because I think that Dak Prescott is going to have a big bounce back year, but it's still Tom Brady. I don't count Tom Brady out until Tom Brady's dead and gone. I've said it plenty of times. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback until the day he dies. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. So I'm going to stick with Tom Brady having a better year than anybody because that's what Tom Brady usually does.
All right, Mr. Torrey Anderson, same question to you. Who's going to have a better season, Dak Prescott or Tom Brady?
I'm a double down on it, and when Tom Brady's dead, he'll still win another Super Bowl.
So Tom Brady's going to have a better season, huh?
Tom Brady will have a better season because we've talked about it before. All 22 starters are back. He had an entire offseason to get even more in sync with his receivers and his running backs. This is going to be a ridiculous year, and there again, every year we say Tom Brady. This is the year Tom Brady falls off the cliff, and he just keeps extending that cliff, or he's walking on water. One of the two. I don't know. I'm going to go with walking on water at this point.
Yeah, and it seems like every year we say that like he's going to fall off the cliff, like he elevates his play and looks more handsome too. Like, how does he do it? Like, I'm just
I gotta get to this comment by Soup Boss.
Go ahead.
He says, "Are you recording in the room that they locked Harry Potter in? What the hell is that setup? A baby chair?"
Are you jealous of my broken chair? Jeez. I just moved into my house and I got 2 kids and a wife that doesn't do anything. I have a garage full of items.
They locked Harry Potter in.
Guys, you're so mean to me. I just want to have a good show and just God.
I don't even know what that means because I've never seen those movies.
I was just gonna say, I think it's more scary that Soup Boss knows what room Harry Potter got locked in.
I will never sit through a 4-hour movie. I'm just putting it out there. 4 hours is like my limit. No, sorry, Harry Potter's like 4.5.
I've never seen any of them.
All right, so BC, you got the first yes or no question.
Are they a baseball player?
No.
Are they a basketball player?
No.
Are they a football player?
Yes.
Do they play in the AFC?
Yes.
Do they play in the AFC East?
No.
Do they play in the AFC North?
Yes.
Oh, God. Is it Joe Burrows?
No.
Oh, we finally got a buzzer.
I was going to say, damn, usually when
Is
he
it-
pauses like that, I'm right.
Is it Baker Mayfield?
No.
Is it Ben Roethlisberger?
No.
Is it OBJ?
No. You guys are not on the right path, by the way. Just throwing it out there.
Do they play offense?
Yes.
Are they an offensive lineman?
No.
So how you say they're on the right path and we're naming skill position players?
Sometimes you got to throw a curveball in there and see what happens.
Is it Lamar?
It is not Lamar.
Is it Gus Edwards?
No.
Is it God?
Feel free to guess in the chat too, guys.
Is it Dwayne Haskins?
No.
Is it Nick Chubb?
No.
Jeez, I'm crow. Is it? What's so funny?
Soup Boss's that we can't say.
Is it Joe Mixon?
No, it's not Joe Mixon. I gotta look at this comment now.
Oh.
If you guys were a part of behind the scenes, you would see that comment. I'm just throwing it out there.
Is it Mark Andrews?
No,
Is it Juju Smith-Schuster?
no,
Is it Sammy Watkins?
no,
Oh my God. Is it a running back?
yes,
Is it Najee Harris?
no,
Oh my God. Is it Kareem Hunt?
no.
What the? Because that would have been my next guess too. Is it Jesus? We're down to like third string here.
You're missing the obvious.
You're missing the obvious.
I know who it is now.
Is it?
No.
I didn't even.
Hurry up. 3, 2.
I'm.
Yeah.
Pick a name. Hurry up so I
Don't-
can win.
Don't rush me.
Oh my God.
Is it Benny Snell?
No.
Is it Dobbins?
It is J.K. Dobbins. There we go.
He's an IR.
He's still a running
He's
back
still a
listed
team.
number 1
He's still
string
a
on the
player.
Baltimore Ravens. It doesn't matter. He's still on the. But anyways, Combs 2-0
You are
tonight.
terrible at this game.
You are the winner.
Undefeated.
But the reason why I bring up J.K. Dobbins is obviously he tore his ACL. So, Tori, I got to kick it to you first here. Should the Ravens sign Todd Gurley after J.K. Dobbins tore his ACL?
No, we went over this last night. Gus Edwards is almost the exact same running back that J.K. Dobbins is, just a couple years older. That is it. Unfortunately, I am a big Gurley fan. I love him, but the arthritis in his knees is really bad. There's a reason he is still unsigned, and it's because of his knees. Unfortunately, at 27 years old, I think Gurley is probably done in the league until about the midway point through the season with maybe a running back goes down or a team gets really desperate. Then they may kind of, look at Gurley. But they've got Gus Edwards. They've got some depth there. And again, I think that they pick up a bigger name that gets cut, which we were talking last night. We thought Saturday was cut down. It's tomorrow. Cut down day is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Like all teams
wow.
have to be down to
Okay.
53, which I was like, holy crap, that came quick.
Yeah.
So we will probably know tomorrow afternoon who the Ravens will probably sign.
Combs, what
Yeah,
about
look,
you?
Gurley is just old. Look, he's old. I mean, by running back years, he's in his 60s. Like, there's no reason for any team to go out there and go after Gurley. You can find a guy on a practice squad somewhere who needs a job, who can come out and do just as good a job as Gurley can. Gurley's done. He's past his prime. It's, I'd be surprised if he gets another shot in the NFL somewhere as anything more than maybe a third string guy or just on a team that's just been depleted by injury.
All right. So, guys, we do have one more. Do you guys want to play the last one, even though Combs won?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see if I can go 3-0.
All right, Tori, you go first. Yes, no question.
Are they on injured reserve?
No,
Are they a baseball player?
no,
Are they a Major League Soccer player?
no,
Are they a football player?
yes,
A little football heavy, aren't they there, Buck?
yes.
Yeah.
10 days till kickoff, right?
Is it Taysom Hill?
It is not Taysom Hill. I will not ever bring that evil name back into the show ever again.
Is it Jameis Winston?
It is not.
Is it Trevor Lawrence?
No,
Do they play in
Bust.
the NFC?
no,
Do they play for the Jaguars?
no,
So it's not Tim Tebow then, huh?
no. Sure isn't.
Because
So
he
sorry,
doesn't play for
Joey.
anybody.
Sorry,
Is it Mac
Joey.
Jones?
Who?
Is it Mac Jones?
It is not Mac Jones.
Is it Tyrod Taylor?
It is Tyrod Taylor. Ding, 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 ding. So the reason why I bring up Tyrod Taylor is because Deshaun Watson will remain inactive on the Houston roster in 2021. Does this even make sense to make a player like Deshaun Watson's caliber inactive and start Tyrod Taylor, Combs?
Does anything in Houston make sense anymore?
No, not
I
really.
mean, yeah. So Houston does what Houston does. Look, he's got some legal issues going on. And I
Some
saw Supas's
some
comment.
legal issues.
Yeah. So he's got some legal issues going on, and so no, it doesn't surprise me that they, said that he'll remain inactive and on their roster. I actually think he gets traded before the season starts, but we'll see.
Tori?
Well, everything that you saw coming out like late Friday afternoon was Watson's going to sit. They figure a trade is already almost done. Like, so there's got to be framework somewhere. You just don't say, I'm going to pay this quarterback a lot of money to be inactive on my roster unless you're getting ready to move him. There's a framework deal somewhere. They're figuring it all out at this point and figuring out who's going where and what's going where, and they will trade him. That's the only reason you're saying he's inactive. The biggest issue I have with that, you trade a quarterback like that this close to the season, how good's he actually going to be without picking up your offense?
Very, very true. Very true on that statement. So, guys, we are up against the next break. On the other side of the break, we do have a brand new segment. Well, not a new segment, but a newish segment called Cooking with Tori. So, Tori, you want to tell us a little bit about what Cooking with Tori is all about?
So we're just going to talk about what's cooking in the sports world, and it's basically just me ranting quite a bit. So
yeah, so something that you do all the time on the behind the scenes footage, right?
Right.
So pretty much, guys. All right, guys. So we're going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we got Cooking with Tori coming up here right after this. All right.
Supas is cracking me.
Blood boil all day long since I read the stupid article. So this time of year, again, we all like to play fantasy football for the most part. I read every little piece of fantasy football advice thing out there. And now CBS put out an article today called Your Deep Sleeper Fantasy Draft. So let's break down some of these deep sleepers that they have in here. Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is probably going to be the number one receiver in New England this year. How is that considered a deep sleeper? There's no way. He is the number one receiver on that team, hands down. And we've actually talked about him being a breakout candidate this year for being, their number one. I think he's going to develop a nice rapport with Mac Jones. You are going to see big things out of Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers could go off for 1,400 yards and 10 plus touchdowns this year. That doesn't scream deep sleeper to me in any freaking league at all. So Bryan Edwards from the Las Vegas Raiders is the number 2 receiver. How do you consider that a deep sleeper when you have a quarterback that can actually wing it to you? That's not really a deep sleeper. He actually put up decent stats. He's projected this year to get 76 points. His average draft position, is 212. Nope. Stupid. Justin Jackson, the backup running back for the Chargers, who 2 years ago was the number 1 running back for the Chargers before they put Austin Eckler in there because he was a receiving back too. KJ Hamler, probably the second best receiver in Denver. How was that a deep sleeper? Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He's a number 2 receiver in Green Bay who's going to put up numbers. His problem is he can't hold the ball. So
and according to Wyatt, he's great.
I like him. It's just he drops the ball way too often. There's a lot of drops. And it's funny because they put stats up like, this is his projected points. But they don't have his last year's stats up there because he caught 10 touchdowns. That's not deep sleeper. This is the dumbest list ever. The only one that they got right in this whole list is Jameis Winston potentially as a deep sleeper. And even that will be wrong.
So a couple of things come to mind. I mean, because Austin Eckler's out for the season with a torn ACL, right? Or Achilles or something, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Justin Jackson will be the number 1.
So he'll be the number 1. So how can he be a deep sleeper if it's a number 1? That makes zero sense to me.
Like Sterling, they have Sterling Shepard from the Giants as a deep sleeper. Okay, except everybody knows what he's capable of. That's not being a deep sleeper. A deep sleeper is somebody that nobody's really looking at. Ryan Fitzpatrick for the Washington football team.
Snoop Dogg says Bill Cosby knows what a deep sleeper is.
Only if you guys were on the behind the scenes footage right now, what is being said? It's absolutely horrendous. So, Tori, let me ask you this question. You are bashing that CBS sports sleeper list. So give the people a little bit of fantasy preview of like what you have to offer. Who is a deep sleeper for you in this year's fantasy?
Oh, God. If you would go back and watch our first episode, you would see who that was. And now you're going to make me think. Because now I got to go through it. But I think Zach Moss in Buffalo potentially could be a deep sleeper. If Devin Singletary starts to struggle a little bit this year, I think Zach Moss is a guy that's worth the handcuff to Devin Singletary because he could potentially step up and be that guy in Buffalo. That would be one of my best guesses. The other one, and I'm going to go right back to Buffalo, and this is going to sound homer, and everyone's like, Jake Kumerow. Jake Kumerow has developed quite a rapport with Josh Allen and had a great preseason to go with it. So he's kind of at that do or die stage of his entire career. He's 28 years old, so it's either you make it or you don't. So another guy to kind of keep your eye on as maybe a number 3 or a number 4 receiver in that Buffalo Bills offense.
Okay, so Combs, anything to add to that at all?
No, I mean, look, you get a lot of these dumb articles, especially CBS seems to have a lot of them. They I believe that's also where our buddy puts all his stuff too, is on CBS. What's his face there? Chris Sims.
No, he's on the NFL, or he's on NBC, isn't he, or something?
No, I think he's on CBS. I could be wrong,
It doesn't
but
matter.
he's just horrendous. And CBS tends to have a lot of these takes. I don't know. I think that I think there's a few sleepers out there. There's guys who are, they're picking guys who like Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney's a
Yeah.
sleeper. No, he's not. He's not a sleeper. He was the Bears' best wide receiver last year, and he's going to be their second best wide receiver this year. Like it's not a sleeper. You want a sleeper? Give me somebody like Jesper Horsted. The Bears' fourth tight end who had 3 touchdowns in a preseason game last weekend. Give me somebody like
Cole Kmet was the Bears' deep sleeper on that one.
Yeah, that's just stupid. He's the number 1 tight end. I mean, you can
Right.
talk about Jimmy Graham all you want, but I've watched Jimmy Graham dropped about 17 passes this preseason. So, in the fact that they kept Jimmy Graham over a couple of other guys that they should have kept is beyond me. But I mean, it's just those aren't sleepers to me.
No, I agree 100% with you. Like this list, I was reading this list. I'm like, you're listing starters as deep sleepers for these teams, and I'm like, no, they're just not. Like like for the Packers, they said MVS, who's the number 2 receiver. I take that back. He had 33 catches for 690 yards and 6 touchdowns. So he caught a touchdown just over or just under once every 5 catches.
Yeah,
That doesn't scream deep sleeper to me. The deep sleeper to me would be like, well, you got Amari Rodgers, who is learning behind, Devontae, MVS, Allen Lazard, and Randall Cobb. Like right now, Amari Rodgers is listed as the number 5 receiver.
a deep sleeper is a guy who you don't see coming. A guy who
Absolutely.
right now it'd be almost impossible to pick a deep sleeper, and if you do pick one, it has to be somebody nobody knows.
Byron Pringle.
Right.
Byron Pringle.
Yeah.
And I believe when in our first episode, I did talk about Byron Pringle
Yeah, you did.
being a deep sleeper because I think that kid's got all the talent in the entire world and has a chance to be a really good timeout.
All right, let's go ahead and try to contain. So behind the scenes chat is going crazy. If you guys are not at behind the scenes footage, simply head over to youtube.com/Dan or click on the join button, become a member. You get behind the scenes footage and you can see what Sue Boss is actually saying. So while Combs and them try to gain their composure, let's go ahead and transition gears here. So Justin Fields has made some great throws and played pretty darn good during the preseason, as my eyes tell me. But the Bears have named Andy Dalton the starter. So Brandon BC Combs, you are a big Justin Fields fan. Did the Bears make the right choice with Andy Dalton being the starter this year?
No. And here, I sat there and I said Justin Fields needs to be the starter week 1. And with the San Francisco 49ers earlier, I said Trey Lance needs to sit. And they're in totally different spectrums. Same thing with Mac Jones. The Patriots and the Bears are in the same situation as far as what their chances of making the playoffs are. They're both going to be maybe 7 or 8 win teams with their rookies, but very, very much less with the other guys who they're going to start ahead of them. This team needs a quarterback that can make plays. They need a quarterback that can escape pressure because there's going to be a lot of pressure coming from this offensive line, which is not very good. There's a lot of things, and to sit there and say that this kid sitting behind Andy freaking Dalton is going to learn anything is just a joke to me. Because what is he going to learn from Andy Dalton?
He is going to learn how to win. Andy Dalton is 74 and 66 as a starter. That is a winning percentage, Combs. Andy Dalton has led the Cincinnati Bengals to the playoffs, 8 or 9 times? I mean, he is a proven winner. And
Fuck, stop yourself. You talk about Andy Dalton as a proven winner, but then you'll sit there and say Lamar Jackson is trash, who has a much better record than Andy Dalton.
Okay, it doesn't matter about records
And
at the end
an
of the
MVP.
What do you mean it doesn't? You just brought up the record when I said Andy Dalton wasn't a good quarterback.
Well, no, but you are also saying that he's not a proven winner. clearly he's a proven winner. He has a winning record and winning on and off the field. He has been a straight age model NFL quarterback. You know, he never gets in trouble. He doesn't demand trades or anything like that.
You know what else he never does? Win a playoff game.
That is because of the coaching. That is because
What
of
do
the
you
coaching.
think he's gonna have in Chicago? Have you watched Matt Nagy?
They've won a playoff game, haven't they?
Isn't Dave Wanstead the
No.
coach still
They
there?
haven't won a playoff game under Nagy. They've been to one, and then the double doink.
They've been to several. I thought they beat the Saints. Did they beat the Saints?
No.
Oh, that's right. Tori, did the Chicago Bears make the right choice of starting Andy Dalton?
Yes. Yes, they did. And this is my thing. And Brandon's going to disagree, but get another top 10 pick. It's going to be Justin Fields' team next year. They're going for another top 10 pick. They're going to get another high pick. They're going to address the offensive line next year.
They literally think that Dalton
they will
is
turn
a
the
good
keys.
option at quarterback. This is what
He is a good
done.
option to get for them to lose.
This
They
is
are
what
throwing
Nagy
this
has
season
done,
away
is
intentionally.
What Nagy can't. He can't. He doesn't have another season behind him.
Exactly. They are going to throw him out on his butt. They are getting that draft pick, and they're going to bring in a different coach. Ryan Pace will be hoping that he keeps his job, even though he's going to, in my book, he's the 2021 executive of
Those
the year.
are the two reasons why. I'm telling you right now, the first 3 games of the season, they're going up against really good defenses.
And
They're going up
Virginia
against the
McCaskey
Browns,
is the greatest
they're going
owner
up
in the
against
league.
the Rams, and they're going up against the Bengals. So Andy Dalton's going to get his revenge game against the Bengals in week 2. They're going to lose that game. They're going to lose week 1 to the Rams, and they're going to lose week 3 to the Browns, and then at home versus the Detroit Lions, a game that Justin Fields can come in and be a superstar in. Justin Fields is going to come in. They're going to beat the Lions at home.
No.
And that is what's going to start his career. 100% guaranteed. Unless Andy Dalton gets hurt prior to that, watch. That's how it's going to unfold. I promise you that's how it's going to unfold.
So first things first is the Detroit Lions are going to sweep the Chicago Bears this year and get that 10-7 record. Their only loss will be to the Packers in the division at home, unfortunately. So they're going to go into Lambeau week number 2 when I'm there, and they're going to beat the Packers.
I wish that was the worst thing that's ever come out of your mouth, but it's not.
But so jumping over to the comments here, Javier says, hell no, Justin is way better. He needs to learn he's a franchise player. How does he learn that he's a franchise player? By sitting behind Andy Dalton, which was a franchise player in Cincinnati, right, Tori?
God.
He was.
So he needs to learn how to be a franchise player by sitting behind Andy Dalton this season.
No, that's false, and it's stupid. That's your guys take that these rookie quarterbacks need to sit and learn and get adjusted.
is
and don't
proven.
hurt their feelings. What do you mean it's proven? I can name you 5 freaking rookies that are starting this season. Why don't you want Mac Jones to sit behind Cam Newton?
Because Mac Jones is a ready NFL quarterback.
Why didn't the Jacksonville Jaguars keep Gardner Minshew, who has out of his draft class the highest passer rating, and sit freaking Trevor Lawrence behind Gardner Minshew for a year?
Because they can't fill their seats and they have to do something to
because
fill
they
their
were
seats.
better options.
No, because
They were better options.
the only reason why they traded Gardner Minshew is because the Jacksonville Jaguars fans are screaming to start Trevor Lawrence, and they don't want any type of quarterback controversy in Jacksonville whatsoever. That's the only reason why they traded him.
At the day they drafted Trevor Lawrence, there was no way from the day they drafted him that Trevor Lawrence wasn't the starting quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And
It has nothing to do
I
with the
agree with that.
fans. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that he's the number 1 overall pick, and they're going to start him. Same thing with the Jets over there in New York. That's why they didn't make moves to go out and get Deshaun Watson or go out and try to get Carson Wentz to sit ahead of Zach Wilson, because he is the future, and because even if they lose this season, they're going to do it. The problem is right now with teams like the Bears is the Bears are still going out there thinking they have a chance to be a playoff team because they were a playoff team last year. This schedule that they have is absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal.
And that's
they are
exactly
not
why
a
Justin
playoff
Fields
team.
should sit.
No, that's exactly why he should start. That's exactly why he should start and learn how to be a quarterback in this league.
So learn how to get sacked and beat up.
So
Who was the Houston?
What are you gonna do?
Who was the
You
Houston
gonna grab him and
quarterback
bubble
that got
wrap?
set up and got beat up for year after year after year.
David Carr.
Exactly.
Deshaun Watson.
Where is he at now? Probably in a mental hospital because he has CTE because he got his ass kicked so much. Do you want your franchise quarterback to do that, Combs?
Yeah, because Justin Fields is not more mobile than David Carr.
I'm
David
not
Carr
saying
was
that.
a mobile quarterback.
Combs, I can tell you that there are only 2 NFL ready quarterbacks right now out of this draft,
But you're wrong.
and that's going to be Mac Jones and Kyle Trask.
Okay.
Oh my God. You're still on, you're on this the Kyle Trask train still.
Oh my God.
Kyle Trask
forgot-
is going to be the best
I
quarterback out
forgot-
of this draft.
I forgot
Go
that guy
home, you're
even
drunk.
was in the league.
No, you didn't. He's back up to Tom Brady, going to be the best quarterback in this class.
No, he's not.
Yes, how? You're
No,
learning from
he's
the
not.
greatest quarterback of all time.
I
Okay.
will bet that Kellen Mond has a better career than Kyle Trask.
Kellen Mond will get cut next year.
Kellen Mond will be the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings next year.
Didn't you say Deshaun Watson was going to be starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings?
I did. That was my bold prediction.
Yeah.
That the Vikings are the sleeper. They're the dark horse team because it makes way too much sense.
So Combs, let's quickly go through the top 5 quarterbacks here that were drafted. Okay, we have Trey Lance. Do you think right now he is better than Jimmy G and would be a better quarterback or a better record-wise for the San Francisco 49ers? Yes or no?
No,
So why start him?
I didn't say to start him.
But you
Jimmy G's
said-
the starter.
But you said there is no reason for him to sit whatsoever,
It's a
right?
very different scenario.
Okay.
Justin Fields is not sitting behind a quarterback who took a team to a Super Bowl 2 seasons ago.
It was close though. So okay, so let's go
Wait,
ahead
what
and
was? Wait, time out. What was close?
They were 8
The
and 8.
Bengals going to the Super Bowl?
They were 8 and 8. Come on now.
And
No.
Andy Dalton was in Dallas last year,
2 years ago.
and that was a
All
train
right,
wreck.
so let's keep
It
going.
was. Okay, so let's go to your Chicago Bears. Do they have a better record with Andy Dalton or Justin Fields at the helm?
Justin Fields.
What is their record?
With Justin Fields, they'll be probably let's say 8 and 9.
Okay, so still a losing record, missing the playoffs.
Exactly.
So why
They're going to be
why
because
allow him to get
without
beat
him,
up?
they'll be 6 and 11.
Okay, 6 and 11, you get a higher draft pick than 8 and 9, right?
Sure, but your quarterback
Thanks for
doesn't
making
develop.
my point for me. Yes, he does.
How does he develop? During what? During practice? Would you
Yes.
guys just sat here and told me that preseason and playing against the second string doesn't teach you
Preseason,
anything?
This
preseason is
where you-
different.
Jesus
This is where
Christ.
you're lacking in your knowledge because there's a quarterback room. You are studying film. You are studying defenses. You are learning the defenses. You are learning the speed of the game still.
Yeah, why don't you just go play out in shorts and we'll see if you can throw to a non-moving target with no defense coming on you. and
Because
we'll,
that is the difference between $5 million and $4 million, Combs.
You guys are ridiculous. You guys
Okay.
are absolutely ridiculous.
So now let's look at Trevor Lawrence and let's say Garner Minshew. It's still on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who has a better record with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Garner Minshew or Trevor?
Hey, they have
That's a tough one.
CJ Beathard.
That's a tough one because they're not going to be good either way.
Exactly.
But Gardner Minshew hasn't done anything to show that he's not a quality quarterback in the NFL.
So why start Trevor Lawrence if you're going to get a first overall draft pick anyways?
Because Trevor Lawrence is the future, and they want to develop their quarterback. They're
He's a
doing it
future,
the right way.
so you're going to basically
doing it the
take
right way.
10 years off of his career by getting beat up by year one.
They're doing it the right way. Supa says what Minshew, they're 18-0.
18-0, Jesus. Whatever. Suit Boss is crazy. Get that crap out of here. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take our last break. We're going to open up the last 15 minutes up to Shop Talk. So if you guys want to talk about anything, let us know here. We'll be right back here on the Man Hour. Welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhouse along with Tori Anderson and Mr. Brandon BC Combs. You guys can find us all on the Twitter machine at manhour_Buck, manhour_Combs, and of course manhour_Tori. And if you have any fantasy questions whatsoever, you can hit up Tori on the old Twitter machine, and he will answer it on the show. If you guys are a member of 299 or more, you'll get the answer of that. So simply slide into his DM, ask any questions that you might have or like anything. But guys, it is time to open up for Shop Talk. Phone lines are open, 812-406-8384. I do not have the thing going right now. And then, wow. The behind-the-scenes footage, guys, is going crazy tonight. So a big shout-out to Shoot Boss and Drew for being in the behind-the-scenes footage. If you guys want to become a part of that, 99 or the 99 deal over at youtube.com/manhour will get you behind-the-scenes footage. So during the breaks, you got to see what's actually going on and see what's going on in the old chat line there. So, Tori, you were cooking with Tori tonight, but Combs, is there anything that you want to rant and rave about before we end the show?
Yeah, your guys' idiotic takes on freaking quarterbacks not being able to start as rookies.
Yeah. Let me hear about it. Go ahead and tell me how you really feel.
It just makes no sense.
How does it make sense?
It's stupid. How does it make sense?
Because
why can't you have a rookie start his first year in the league?
I'm not saying you cannot have a rookie start this first league. Mac Jones is going to be great in New England, and they're probably a 9-win team. But with Cam, they're a 2 or 3-win team, right?
I want to know why you want Fields to start and ruin his career right away.
Why does that?
It doesn't matter. We really don't care.
You're an idiot. Why does it ruin his career?
Because he is going to get because this does not help his career in any way. Why do you want to have a bad season and kind of put that blemish on your record for the first year? Have 30 plus sacks, have 30 interceptions. Why do you want to have that Jameis tag on you your first year?
Why would he go through that though? How do you know he would go through that?
Because you said it yourself that the Bears offensive line sucks.
What would happen if he figures it out 3 weeks in and you go 12-5?
Then you shoot your pooch there because you were hoping for a top pick again anyways to build that offensive line.
But why? What if you go 12-5 and you've got a couple of playoff games? Now your rookie quarterback has won 12 games in the league.
Okay,
he still has a playoff experience.
Okay,
what's more realistic though? I can poop in one hand and wish in the other. And which one's going to fill up first?
Okay, but that's the same. All right, but you guys want Mac Jones to start, and nobody thinks that the Patriots are going to the playoffs if Mac Jones starts over Cam Newton.
But because of his coach, he's got a way better coach. His coaching is going to play the game around his game.
And you also have to realize that the Patriots had 12 starters from last year opt out of the COVID season, and those guys are all back. So the Patriots are still going to be good.
To go with the veteran, right? The former NFL MVP.
Hey, Tori, pick up your arms again. Yeah, that's why right there, because Cam Newton can't throw the ball over 5 yards. With the Chicago Bears, you have a top 15 quarterback on your roster that is going to start week 1 for you, and he can take those hits. He can end his career with 30 sacks.
But all right, so you put Justin Fields on the bench to sit behind Andy Dalton, who's just going to get murdered for 3 weeks before you bring him in anyway.
But he is still a franchise quarterback and can teach you how to prepare as a starter.
No, he's not.
How is he not a franchise
Andy
quarterback?
Dalton hasn't been a franchise quarterback in 5 seasons.
Okay, he was still a franchise quarterback when he got drafted into the NFL, right? No? You're saying no? He wasn't a franchise quarterback in Cincinnati?
So was Ryan Leaf.
So being
Doesn't mean
drafted
he's
as a
good.
franchise quarterback is different than actually being a franchise quarterback. Andy Dalton spent 11 years in Cincy and was consistently leading them to the playoffs year after year after year, despite Marvin Jones just being a horrible head coach. I mean, you guys can say what you want about him, but he was not a very good coach. He would make the team good enough to make it to the playoffs, and that's it. And then he's like, my season's over. I'm not getting paid anymore. Bada bing, bada boom. I am done. So now let's flash back to your comment that you said.
So you guys want to talk about interceptions, and you give me all this crap for Jameis Winston. Okay, what has Andy Dalton done throughout his career? His rookie year, he was 20 and 13 touchdown to interception ratio. 13 interceptions his first year, 16 interceptions his second year, 20 interceptions his third year, 17 interceptions his fourth year. What are you talking? The last couple of years, 8, 14, 11, 12.
All less than 30.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All more
But,
touchdowns.
Oh no, but
yeah.
this guy is the guy that you want your guy to learn from, because he might throw a couple of interceptions as a rookie.
But at this point, it's more about him teaching him the
He's
mental
never
part
thrown
of the
for
game.
he's thrown for 4,000 yards twice in his career.
Okay.
This guy is not a freaking.
I'm not saying
I
he is.
don't get it
I'm
with
not
you
saying
guys.
he is the greatest quarterback of all time, but right now in the NFL, he's a top 15 quarterback in the
Shut
in
your
the NFL.
freaking mouth! You are
But-
stupid when you say that.
but
he is
l-
not a top 15 quarterback in the NFL right now. He's not even a top 32 quarterback in the NFL right now.
Except for he is, because he's starting over your Justin Fields. But now back to your comment of like you saying, what if Justin Fields goes 12-5? He has gained experience. He has gained a couple Super Bowl or a couple playoff wins. Yada yada yada. But he's still not going to build that offensive line through the draft. You said it yourself, Combs. The offensive line sucks, right? The offensive
But
line
they
is
picked
easily
up a couple of offensive linemen over the last 2 weeks. They picked up your boy out of Kansas City. They picked up another, I can't remember his name, Fetty. They picked up a couple of offensive linemen. So they're trying to improve that offensive line through free agency and through picking guys up.
I mean, they're trying all they want, but at the end of the day, Andy Dalton is a starter, and he will lead them to where they're ultimately going to go, because Justin Fields won't start till week 10 or week 11.
He's going to lead them to week 4 when Justin Fields takes over. That's what they're going to lead him to.
All righty, guys. We are at the end of the show here. Tori, any closing thoughts before we head out?
San Dimas High School football rules.
All right, Combs, send us out, big guy.
Man, our nation, rise up.